The church begins with baptism. See, what happened was when Jesus was coming up out of the water, everything broke, like the universe was giving birth. The sky split open and the Spirit poured down, and the Lord our God looked at Jesus, and her face broke into smiles. This is my Son, and I love him. And now this is what the church knows. When God said that to Jesus, they said that to every person ever. The Holy Spirit looks at you, and his eyes light up, and his face breaks into smiles, and God says, "Oh, good. I was hoping it would be you. You are mine, and I love you." And that's the truth. And it is not easy to remember. It is not easy to believe. I'm not even sure it's possible for us to get this by ourselves. But if our loneliness comes when our own shining love goes unseen, imagine what happens when we begin to notice this love in somebody else. Imagine if there were people who would say to you what God is trying to get you to hear. "Oh, good, it's you. I was hoping it would be you." We could do this. We see the truth of who you are, and we need you, and we love you. And imagine if this is what the church is for. And if I'm onto something here, then it seems like we can help answer loneliness by helping people find their way to Church of Peace. And we can. And really, truly, that's part of it. I know there are older people living in Rock Island who are languishing from social isolation. I know there are young people in our neighborhood who would tell anybody who asked that they don't have any real friends, and it's killing them. There are people who need what we have at Church of Peace, but they don't know about us, or they can't come through our doors. Now, what if? What if the church is a training center where we come to practice seeing each other the same way that God sees us? You know, your longing for loving relationship is the same longing that God is harboring in the heart of her heart. We know it, we see it, and it matters that we tell you. So of course, this is our work at the corner of 12th and 12th. And if you're thinking there's an opportunity for us to help people find their way to Church of Peace, you are absolutely right. There is. And that's really, truly part of it. But even more than bringing people in, what if Church of Peace could go to them? I'm pretty sure you know someone who is struggling with loneliness. You know elderly people who feel cut off from family and friends, who find that all of their friends are dying. You know people who are under 25, who are working too hard, who are worried about the path their life is taking, who are chronically homesick. They are lonely for friends they haven't even met yet. Maybe you are the one who can see the shining light that they're carrying. Maybe you're the one who believes in them and makes sure they know you believe in them, because even when you question their choices, you never question their worth. That comes from God. You have heard me share this before. You're probably going to hear me share this many times in the future. I am still taken by the observation made by David Augsburger. He says it like this: being heard is so close to being loved that for the average person, they're almost indistinguishable. If Church of Peace can do anything to help you listen to an old person so they know they are being heard, if we can do anything to help you affirm what a young person cares about, well, that's just it. That is everything. We are a people learning how to answer loneliness with all the love we learn from the Lord. And I am telling you, the world is starving for this. Now, in a few minutes, we will come to the table of Jesus Christ. And sometimes we cast this as the ending. We call it the Last Supper. The promise that Jesus leaves to his disciples before he dies, and all that's true. Communion is also the beginning. We come to the table because we need a new start, and we're hungry, and we're lonely, and we're all too aware of the shape and size of our own deep need, and so is Jesus. He looks at us, his eyes shining with love, his face breaking into smiles. I was hoping it would be you. Your help is needed, but first, sit down here. Take and eat. Everything's about to be made new.